This is the true life secret of a pastor who is facing challenges in his marriage. But before we get into it, if you are a fan of true life secrets, then please subscribe and press the notification button to be notified whenever we post a new video. This is how Pastor Sam narrated his story. My name is Pastor Sam and I'm a pastor of one of the leading churches in Ghana. I was transferred to a new place to head a church there. When I got there, I met a lady in the church whom I liked, and so I spoke with her, and when she agreed, we started a relationship. One day, she visited me, and because I couldn't control myself, I slept with her. A month later, this lady told me that she was pregnant. Meanwhile, we had been in relationship for only 3 months, and because I am a pastor and do not want any disgrace and don't want her to abort the pregnancy, I decided that we should get married. I then met her parents, and we met the church leadership, and we finally got married. But the woman I married has a very hot temper. Anytime she got annoyed, she would throw things around and saying so many bad things. No matter where she was, even at church, she would do worse. One day, at church, she had a confrontation with a church member, and I wasn't happy with the way she responded and acted in the matter, and so when we came home, I called her and told her that she is a pastor's wife and the mother of the church, therefore she should be mindful of her actions. After saying this, my wife got annoyed with me and said so many horrible things to me. In fact, she snubbed me and left the house. I followed her to find out where she was going, but before I realized, she was gone. It was about 8:30 p.m. I thought my wife would return soon as it was getting late, but at about 10 p.m. when she was not coming home, I got alarmed and decided to call her phone, but later realized that she had left the phone at home. In fact, I was very worried because I didn't know where she had gone. We stay in a compound house, so I gave our child to one of the tenants while I go out into the night to look for her, though I didn't know where she was. I went round and looked everywhere I thought she would be but couldn't find her, and so I returned with the hope that she would be at home, but she wasn't. I waited for my wife up to about 2:30 a.m. before she came back home. When she came, she refused to tell me where she went and refused to answer my questions too as well. I decided not to ask her anything again, but 3 days later, my wife came to kneel before me and started begging me and apologizing for misbehaving the other day, and I accepted it. 3 months later, I noticed that my wife had changed, and so we went to the hospital for checkup. It was at the hospital that it was confirmed that my wife was pregnant. I was happy because it has been 4 years since we had our first child and we had been looking forward for another pregnancy. But, from the time my wife got pregnant till she put to bed, I noticed a lot of changes in my spiritual and physical life. I'm a kind of pastor that God reveals things to me through dreams, but strangely that stopped. In addition to that, the church membership also started reducing, and I don't understand why, as if that was not enough. My finances also started getting worse. In fact, things were not the way they used to be. Something was not right. People don't get healed as they used to when I pray for them, and I noticed all these changes started since my wife got pregnant for the second time. The pregnancy went through the 9 months and my wife finally put to bed, but some few weeks after, another strange thing started happening, and that is, a madman started coming to us to ask for food and other consumables. Sometimes, this madman followed us to church. I would see him standing outside when I'm behind the pulpit preaching. This madman could follow my wife to the marketplace and many other places we went. I didn't consider it serious. I thought he was a madman who needed help from my wife and I. That was why he came around most of the time. But one day, an incident occurred. I came back from church only to be told that the madman came and took the baby. However, someone saw him and took the baby from him. My wife said she was with the baby outside and she stepped into the room to pick something. When she came out, the baby was gone, but we thank God that the baby was found. Sometime later, I noticed that the baby wasn't behaving the way he should, so we took him to the hospital, and it was detected that he had cerebral palsy. In fact, I wasn't happy about the condition of the child in addition to several other issues going on in my life and family. For these reasons, I decided to go into fasting and prayer to find out whether God would tell me something or reveal something to me because I needed answers. My wife wasn't feeling so good, therefore, I asked her to call her elder sister to come and assist her in taking care of the children when I'm away. Some church members and I then started a 40-day prayer and fasting. We left home to a solitary place for the prayers. 21 days into the fasting, a young lady among us told me that, "Pastor, your wife is hiding something from you. You must go and ask her. If she doesn't speak the truth, she would die and the baby as well. This is what the Lord said, I should tell you." When I heard that, I decided to curtail my fasting and prayer so I could go home and ask my wife what was going on. I went home and the next morning, I told my wife that, this was the revelation that came when we were praying, and so what secret was she hiding from me? She then asked her elder sister to leave us alone. When the elder sister left, my wife started by saying that, our firstborn child that was 4 years old is not my child. Suddenly I felt shocked and cold. Then I asked her who the father of the child is, and she said, the child's father is called Gideon in my church, he was the lead singer. Apparently, my wife got pregnant for this Gideon, and this Gideon told her that he couldn't take care of her, so she brought the pregnancy to me because I could take care of her, so the child is not mine. I was so disturbed to hear this, and so I asked her about the second child, and she asked me whether I remember the mad man who had been coming to the house when she was pregnant and even came and took the child after she delivered. I said yes. What about him? My wife then told me that, our second child is for that mad man, I'm not the father. I shouted, what? How did that happen? My wife then told me that, the night she got annoyed and left the house, she went to the school park nearby to pray. When she got there, she was still crying and was worried because of what had happened, so this man approached her and started consoling her. He took her to one of classrooms, and in the course of consoling and attempting to pray with her, my wife allowed this man she doesn't know to sleep with her. It was after they were done before she noticed something strange about the man. The next morning, my wife went to inquire about the man, and she was told that he is a madman, who has been praying with people on the school park. I was so shocked that I didn't know what to do or say. My wife, the pastor's wife, stooped so low to allow a madman to sleep with her. This is serious. That was why, the madman has been coming to the house and attempted to take the child because he knew it was his child. My wife was sick at this moment, so I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize her health, so I waited for about 6 months for her to fully recover, and then I told her that I couldn't continue with the married, therefore we must separate for me to concentrate on my pastoral work. My wife then told me that she has a secret about me that she has kept, and if I wanted to disgrace her by sacking her from the marriage, she would also make known what I had done to everybody. I was a bit confused when she said that because I knew I had done nothing wrong. She then brought out her phone and showed me a lot of text messages between her and my niece who once visited us. The fact was that, when my niece visited us, I slept with her one of the nights, and she confided in my wife that she was pregnant for me. My wife secretly aborted the pregnancy for her because she doesn't want my reputation to be ruined, but unfortunately the abortion process brought problems to this niece of mine. I slept with my niece but never knew that she got pregnant. My wife is now blackmailing me not to leave her because she has this information about me, so she wanted me to stay with her and take care of other people's children. How is this possible? In fact, I'm so confused. My church leadership wanted to make me a district pastor, and so this information shouldn't come out, else I'm ruined. But I can't also stay with an adulterous and deceitful woman. What should I do now? I'm in a real fix. Please send your advice to me. This is the true life secret of Pastor Sam. Please leave your comments and advice in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.